Good? No, you're good. All right, so another ancillary option that we can do from the double underhooks is actually going for a low underhook here. So same concept as if I'm trying to go for the scoop grip, but this time when I go, instead of reaching for just the far leg with the butterfly hook, I'm actually going to let this top leg go through. And I'm going to get into a half guard where my head is going to connect to his lower hip. Instead of having a high underhook, I'm going to have a low underhook. I'm going to have a scoop grip on the far side, and I'm hugging in nice and tight. My head's not going to be out here in the open for him to cross face and wrap. A lot of bad things for me there. So I'm hugging in nice and tight. The benefit of this position is I can split his base here. If you see both of his knees being parallel, go ahead and sit back on your heels, nice and strong, okay? The benefit of this position is I can use my free leg side, the control leg, and I'm always hamstring curling in, and I got a movement leg here. I'm going to shoot my hips past, as Ryan Hall would call a shovel. So, posting my hip or my foot on the mat, shooting my hips forward, and as you see, this is taking his knees out of alignment, which is taking him off balance and compromising his base. Okay? Now we're going to start attacking the knee torque position. And as you see, my legs, both of my feet are on the outside. I'm actually going to switch them to the inside. There's two ways of doing this. There's throwing one leg over. The benefit of this is there's not much of a window open for him to backstep. If you just open your legs, or open your legs like this and go like that, he's probably going to backstep out of it. The con of this one is your foot sometimes gets stuck. Another way you can do it is just transferring both ankles at the same time. Now, what I'm going to focus in on here is I'm going to curl my outside leg, the top leg, back towards my butt as I'm starting to hip bend. So if you bring the camera around here, if you don't mind, I'm going to be curling my heel to my butt. I'm going to be extending my spine. So my head was nice and tight initially, but once we get to the knee torque, we're wanting a straight spine. The benefit of this is that his hips are angled in this direction, so that even if he gets a cross face now, okay, he's not going to be able to apply shoulder pressure because his hips are already locked towards the left, okay? Now from here, there's a couple sweeps that we can do, but we need to focus on keeping the knee torque the whole time. We use my inside leg, which is now my movement leg. They switched. I'm going to start to shoot. I'm on my right hip. I'm going to shoot my hips so that I start getting towards my right butt, to the middle of my butt. I'm going to keep continuing. As you see, we're doing small incremental shrimps, and I'm keeping this knee torque curled back the whole time. Okay, I'm continuing to scoot until we get to this position from here. To finish, I'm going to push on the top knee. I'm going to come up to the top and keep the knee torque, because now it can help me with a pass. Side. This is mostly going to work if they keep the whizzer, all right? So in this position, it's going to be a common reaction to throw a whizzer on this top arm, okay? Whenever they do that, you're going to be pinching your elbow nice and tight, because at this point, they're going to realize that they're getting swept. And if they can easily pull their arm out, go ahead. It's not going to work, okay? So go ahead and pull your arm out and go to a push-up position. The reason being is if I go to scoot, he just walks with me, okay? He just walks. So that's okay. We're going to be ready for that reaction. One thing we're going to do there is we're going to do a back take. So whenever you're scooting, he's walking, I want you to switch to a low underhook to a V grip on the armpit. And after a walk, as soon as you feel his arms starting to compensate, I'm going to push and I'm going to extend my head out. Big common reaction, which is false, is to try to come up to the dogfight position with my head facing down towards the mat. The reason why this is not going to work is because he can throw a whizzer on. Go ahead. And then we have to start over, okay? The thing to do is when you're coming out, to put your bottom ear to his lower back. Try to get a whizzer now. As you see, you can't reach, and now I can easily come up to this position. So whenever we're here, if he has the whizzer, go ahead. I'm going to be able to get the first sweep. But if he's able to pull his arm out, I'm going to flannel. I'm going to put a grip on his armpit. I'm going to push and extend out the back door and put my bottom ear on the back. Try to whizzer. Good. Try to whizzer. As you see, he's able to get it. Okay? Now, what do we do if we can't get this scoop grip? Let's say I go here and he sprawls his leg back. Okay? Or if ever I feel he just has a really strong whizzer and I'm not going to be able to do a lot of things here. Let's put a lot of weight into it here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to switch to a hamstring grip on this near side. Okay? Now, it doesn't matter how much weight he puts into that whizzer, it's not going to do anything. Whereas here, I'm not going to be able to come up, all right? But from this position, we're going to start to wrestle up. This is where you're going to see Lucas Ledge do his coyote half guard because he's going to be going more belly down. It's because he eventually switches from here to here. So we're going to get a gable grip around the hamstring. I'm going to use my free leg to bump his weight forward as I start to go down towards the mat, okay? I'm looking to go chest down and hips down until I'm able to come up onto my bottom elbow, okay? Where we're gonna do that is continuing to drive his weight forward, okay? And once we get to here, this is where this hamstring underhook's gonna play to my benefit. So if I'm here, he's gonna be able to throw me back down with the whizzer. Throw me down with the whizzer? Not gonna happen. And then from here, we can look to go back heel, and drive him to a hip, or go ahead. From here, we're going to switch to quick underhook, post on the mat, bring my hips up, shoot towards the other side. If he lets go, we take his back. If he keeps the whizzer, we sweep him down into side control. Okay?